You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. Over the weekend, 10 LSU Tigers heard their name called at the NFL draft. There was, however, a first when Cleveland picked in round 4.
Hey man, it's Xander Berry from the Browns. We're gonna take you off the board here, man. We're anticipating scoring a lot of points this year, so we think you can help us out in that endeavor for the next several seasons. So we're excited to take you off the board here. Excited to have you come kicking the dog pound, and we can't wait to get going with you.
That's how it sounded when Cade York got the call. Cade York, good enough to join us now for a couple of minutes. Hey man, congrats on the weekend. How are you?
I am fantastic.
I would bet so.
Yeah.
Did you go into the weekend, this may sound like an obvious question, but did you go in the weekend expecting to hear your name called?
Yes, I did go in the weekend with the expectation to get my name called. I had goals of 5th round, and anything better than that would just be icing on top, and got a little bit of icing.
Yeah, man. Round 4, number 124 overall. What was day 3 like for you? I mean, you didn't have to wait long, but what was day 3 like? Like, walk me through waking up that day and waiting for that moment.
It was. I feel like it was more anticipation building up to the draft. Then finally, when the day happened, it kind of. I mean, yes, in the beginning there was a little bit of anticipation. Like the Browns' first pick that day was I think it was someone from OU, and I kind of had the feeling it was going to be that first one, and then a little disappointment, and then it kind of just like calmed down. And honestly, when I got the call, the whole draft I'd been basically just kind of couldn't like not stop like peeking at my phone or watching the TV. But right before the call came in, I basically was like in a conversation, just eating, chilling, and all of a sudden it kind of came, and then I was like, "Oh crap, this is happening!" So it's like it was pretty awesome.
So a lot of times, doing this long enough, you talk to enough guys who've gone through that process and who have gotten that call. Sometimes guys are totally shocked by the team that picked them, and sometimes they really had a feeling that team liked them. Did you have any inclination that the Browns liked you a lot and that may be your destination?
Yes, I kind of had even told people that that's most likely where I was going to end up, just based off the conversation I'd had with them throughout the process and talking with their special teams coordinator and just building that relationship with them.
What is that process like, building that relationship in the pre-draft? I mean, honestly, look, Cade, all the years I've done this show, all the guys I've talked to that have been drafted, I've never talked to a kicker that's gotten drafted. I mean, obviously, Ferguson got drafted a few years ago, so that was different with a long snapper getting picked. But what's it like for you as a kicker going through that process?
I mean, so the process with the Browns honestly started with Coach Mack and Prefer's relationship, where I'm pretty sure they talked on the phone for like an hour one day and kind of like started that off. And then I ended up getting in contact with him right before the draft. And at the draft, we had like an hour-long meeting and talked about just everything. And then post-draft came for a private workout and had dinner with him the night before at Gino's, and
nice.
Just built up a relationship. I honestly think Gino's might have got me drafted. He seemed to love it.
What did you eat? What did you eat?
They didn't have a bunch of the stuff that night. They didn't have the angel hair crab pasta. That was a bad start. But I think I can't remember what he got, but I got the veal parmesan and got the Lawrence bread. You gotta get the Lawrence bread.
Yeah, you did, bro. I bet you did. Was Gino there?
Yeah, Gino's the one that set it up for me.
Perfect. See, man, take care of your guy. That's what you got to do. Cade York is with us. He's on Twitter at YorkCade. Y'all give him a follow. At what point in your career, or was there a point in your career where, like, you thought this was possible or likely?
Honestly, I know this kind of sounds not cliche, but like I think this with most people. It happened once. I kind of got attention after the Florida kick my sophomore year. Literally the day after that season ended, I started like people were hitting me up about being my agent. I was having coaches tell me like if you have another year, you should leave, like stuff like that. And it honestly became like a distraction that I had to really get rid of going into last season and just focus on just performing. But definitely after sophomore year, it kind of came a reality that could be happening soon.
You know, it's so weird too. And Cade York's our guest. It's so weird, Cade, because I mean, you are the greatest kicker that's ever come through LSU. I don't even know that that's debatable at this point anymore. And as many great kicks and meaningful kicks as you had, be it in the SEC championship game where you really outdueled Blankenship from Georgia or whatever it is, I mean, any of them, it's really like everyone will start with the kick in the fog against Florida. Is that your most memorable? Is that the one that you will always default to when someone says, hey, what's your favorite LSU memory?
There's like, I'd say personal like memory or like personal like, yes, it was my PR field goal. It was the game-winning field goal. It was in the fog and a team that we should not have been in the game with. So, yes, I feel like just with the combination of all the different aspects of that kick, it kind of just made it like a magical moment. But there are other points in my career that, like, honestly, I had better kicking games than I'd had that Florida game. Like, honestly, my first field goal, I kind of hit like crap. I've had, like the McNeese game my junior year, I had the two real long ones. Alabama was probably the 2019. I got to hit two field goals in that. That was probably the coolest game I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. See, that I love asking that question because it's, you know, things mean different things sometimes for players than they do for fans, and things stand out. Man, look, you had the high of winning a championship as a freshman, and then obviously the last 2 years weren't great. When you look back on your time at LSU, what will you remember? What does stand out about your time in Baton Rouge?
Honestly, yes. Going through my freshman year, that was just being part of that was absolutely like nothing could have topped that. That was an amazing way to start a career. And yeah, the next 2 years following, team-wise, didn't have the LSU standard years. And yeah, I might have had personal success, but the team didn't necessarily do as hot as we should have. But just like, I think one of the coolest things is once I kind of gained a little respect from the team and the fan base, it just, over my sophomore and junior year, it kind of just like, I had so much support from the team, the fan base. Like, it just seemed like for all my highs, they like supported me or super like excited and stuff like that. And then when I had a low, they just like, there was nothing. They didn't give me crap about it. I wasn't, yeah, there's a few people that would go in your DMs and be jerks, but like it was, I had such a great support from the entire city and the state of Louisiana. It was just honestly the best situation possible.
Dude, you did an NIL deal with Velveeta. I mean, like
it doesn't get better than that.
I mean, honestly, I'm a little surprised that like York peppermint patties never stepped up and did anything with you. That would have been so like the most obvious one, almost like Heinz 57 with Chase and Heinz was so obvious it's embarrassing they missed it. But the Velveeta thing was pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, you never know. York peppermint patties could still happen. We'll see about that.
I mean, whoever's in their marketing department, shame on them. But you rocking that like yellow and orange two-tone jersey for the Velveeta ad. Like, by the way, when you hit the 50-yarder to cash in on the queso, like, did you know, were you in that moment thinking, yep, that just did it, queso for everyone?
No, but everyone on the sideline loved to remind me.
That's so good. Hey, what's next, man? You're drafted. Obviously, rookie minicamp will be coming up, but what's next between now and then for you?
So currently just moved back to Dallas, living back in my childhood room. So I'm like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow got drafted and lived in his basement.
Yeah, man. We saw
not as much money as that.
We saw the curtains at his parents' house. Not too hot. Hopefully they've upgraded a bit.
So yeah, I will be here, kind of just working out, kick a couple balls, and then I'll go to mini camp on May 12th, and basically be in Cleveland. I think there's like 6 weeks of that in OTAs, and then afterwards you have a little over a month off, or right around a month. But I'll probably stay up there most of the time and just get some work in and maybe visit family for a week or a weekend or something like that. But that's about it.
Hey, man, before you go, have you had a chance to meet Brian Kelly, Brian Poley, and the new special teams coordinator? Any thoughts on the new staff that's come in, what people can expect?
So I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Kelly didn't recognize me, because I've seen him like twice, and I think I might have just been a stranger to him, which totally understand. I haven't really met him at all, but Poley and I have met, talked with a few times. I've had a meeting with him when he first came in about what my plans were on staying and leaving, and I think special teams is in a pretty good hands. It's a different style of coaching for sure, but I think he will definitely get a lot out of the guys that are there, especially on besides the phases, including actual specialists, like when it comes to field goal percentage and stuff like that. I think we'll get more out of our punt return teams, our kickoff coverage, and stuff like that in the coming years.
He is Cade York, the first ever LSU place kicker selected in the NFL draft, the highest kicker selected since 2016 in the NFL. You'll have that distinction, man. We wish you the best of luck. We'll be following your career as you'll move along, man. You'll always have an open door here.
Well, thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.